We experience imposter syndrome, feeling of self-doubt constantly. What if I fail? What we do as a result is we don't use our utmost potential. Imposter syndrome describes high-achieving individuals who, despite their objective success, fail to internalize their accomplishments and have persistent self-doubt and fear of being exposed as a fraud or an imposter.
Pascale is a seasoned clinical psychologist, licensed by the Dubai Health Authority with over a decade of experience in mental health.
Female-owned businesses may have, we're not generalizing in some cases, and are less profitable than men-owned businesses. And when researchers have tried to look into the whys, they came up with two reasons that have been identified to explain this gender performance gap. The first one is the differential input perspective, and the second is the differential value perspective. Let's start with the first one. The differential input perspective argues that women entrepreneurs underperform relative to men entrepreneurs because they possess less valuable input related to business experience and to have less access to resources that are basically essential to entrepreneurial success, such as the financial and the social capital. Whereas the differential values perspective states that women entrepreneurs may experience less business success financially because they place greater emphasis on socio-emotional sources of career satisfaction, including relationship with employees and relationship with customers, contribution to society, and balancing the work-life balance. Like any psychological phenomena, imposter syndrome manifests differently for different people. The perfectionist is the first type, the one that sets very high standards towards self. Self-doubt is triggered once the standards are not met, and here we go into the all or none thinking, I'm a failure. The natural genius. They focus on the ease and speed of their performance rather than the effort that they put. They start feeling anxious when things don't work out easily or on the first try. The soloist, they feel like asking for help is a sign of failure. If I ask for help, then I'm not good enough, or I'm not competent enough, or I'm not worthy enough. So they tend to be hyper-independent to prove their worth or competency. The expert, they feel like they should be the master of all. They discount existing experience and they have a fear of the unknown. And you have the superwoman. These are the people that we always hear them say, I'm so busy, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm burnt out. They have developed that system of wanting to be overcompensators because somehow is a proof to them that I am doing a good job. Women in business and factors that fuel the imposter syndrome. Women face unique set of challenges in business due to the systematic gender bias, and these challenges fuel feelings of imposter syndrome through family demands, the lack of role models, and firm performance. When it comes to the cost of imposter syndrome, at the personal level, lower self-esteem and exhaustion. Imposterism summons people's inner critic, a critic that is too harsh, negative self-talk, which eventually lowers someone's self-esteem. Exhaustion, on the other hand, to compensate for the fear of not being good enough, people engage in the overcompensation, they overwork and refuse to delegate tasks, which leads to exhaustion, fatigue, and self-sabotage. On the business level, it impacts our job performance because of the burnout, because of the low job satisfaction. The constant feeling of apprehension and worry makes working in adverse experience, leading to lower job satisfaction. How to overcome the imposter syndrome? Change comes from within and extends to the society. At the societal level, it is supporting individuals through empowerment by increasing representation in higher position and fighting the stigma. On a personal level, so it does require a lot of self-reflection, building self-awareness, seeking professional help if needed. Self-efficacy is really working on enhancing and strengthening my belief in my capabilities in achieving a specific goal that is important to me. And it is an antidote to imposter fears. Let's take a look at the psychodynamic perspective and perfectionism and imposter syndrome. Psychodynamic therapy can help us recognize the different defense mechanisms that reinforce our imposterism, such as the tendency to isolate instead of delegating responsibilities. You can be confident and you can have a healthy sense of self-esteem and still sometimes have that internalized critical voice that That's why it's important to tackle that voice and not ignore it, because it will keep coming up in different situations. Thank you to everyone who attended and all the questions.
Thank you so much,
Everyone.
all, and I cannot wait to see you all next week. Bye bye.